Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and happy Monday. As you can probably see, I'm in the exact same gear as I was last night. I'm kind of doing both of these back to back, and today, as I said in yesterday's video, there'll be a lot more of the more words of encouragement ones. Today we have another one, and I tend to marry these around things that I'm going through right now at the time, essentially, things I can think I can offer personal advice in when I'm in the height of my emotions about it. And today it's about burnout essentially because a lot of people, my age students particularly, do have that. And I think it's something that I'd like to talk about and elaborate on simply from personal experience of how, because I'm in it right now, how I plan to get out of it, and how a lot of you can potentially take some of the things I'm saying on board, and it might help really. I would say there's we'll try and narrow this down to maybe three things that we'll do that together. Three things to try and get out of burnout and essentially move forward with a more calm mind, essentially, because it's I know that things are can really weigh students down, and it's not pretty, and we've got a lot on our plate, emotionally more than anything else a lot of the time. And university can be quite stressful in certain circumstances. So I feel it's or any other thing that you're taking really, even at A level really, or B Tech. So to talk about burnout, the first thing I would say, which is something I'm certainly going to plan to do moving forward over the next couple of days, is very much sleep pattern. I've very much neglected my sleep in recent months to years, and it's not a good idea at all. Simply because not for my health or anything that anyone else would tell you on these videos. It's simply because I can't avoid, if I want to achieve a certain level of success and output that I'm trying to, I can't avoid the tasks on my list, and I'm constantly working at them. So because I can't avoid them, I don't want to be selling myself short to be in the shit at the second I wake up the next day. In the sense of, if I push myself till 2 in the morning, um, doing X, Y, and Z, and then I have a terrible night's sleep. Well, really, honestly, I don't think I have bad night's sleeps. I think I sleep really well. But getting up is a real chore, and I get up late, for example, and I had something to do in the morning, and I've missed it. Not like I'm never usually late for scheduled time blocked things, but I mean in the sense of, like, maybe there was a task I wanted to do before I head out of the house. I don't have the time to do that anymore, and before you know it, this domino pile starts to stack up in front of you, all these jobs that are just completely unattended, and they will fall down in front of you at some point. And that's when you end up in a crash, and you simply just have to give up and give yourself a day off. To avoid that, stack up, I would advise that energy is the most important thing. Again, it can't be destroyed energy. It can only be moved around and converted. And it's in the same in this way when it comes to sleep. If you can get yourself a decent night's sleep, even look, I'm even going to say midnight. As long as I'm always in bed for midnight and I've at least got about 6 hours under my belt, I can get up, I can keep fighting, and I may be able to get more done. And catch up, even if I've got maybe some jobs I took less time than I was expecting them to, and maybe I catch up, and before you know it, I have caught up, and I'm back on the ground again. There's so many things you can do regarding that. But yeah, sleep is incredibly important, and that's something that I cannot stress enough, that you need to at least get yourself in. Maybe have a curfew, maybe for bed. Maybe like, look, this is a cut off. At this point, I stop working no matter what point I'm at, whether I'm behind or anything. Sleep is the most important thing, because essentially you're just stiffing yourself for tomorrow if you don't give yourself the best advantage to not only conquer tomorrow but improve on what you got wrong today. So yeah, that's certainly potentially the biggest thing I would recommend. Going forward, I would say another thing is, don't don't be shy about it, in the sense of, if you feel there's anyone trusted who you can talk to about how you're feeling and how crushed you're feeling, maybe they have a words of encouragement to offer. If you think there's someone trusted who would give you those words of encouragement, tell them, whether it be a friend or anything like that. And just let them know. Let them know how you're feeling. And a lot of the time you're not alone, because especially in students' case, a lot of people are going through the same thing. And look, I'm not saying that you have to completely write a day off, but maybe having some social time with someone that you know and care about, and just going for a coffee, doing something as small as that, and just taking an hour out of your day to just escape and have a laugh, and then get back into the fire again. And that time that you spent with someone might make you feel all the more invigorated than you previously would have been. So it's certainly something to consider. Just spend time with someone who would understand. And sometimes it's even better to just go with one person than an entire group, because that can also feel quite socially exhausting to talk with a large group of people. So just someone trusted. It'd be nice to get away. And I'm not saying in terms of people who are in relationships, I'm not saying partners per se. I could even be specifying here to very much to single people. Just a guy who gets it, a girl who gets it, anyone really, and either or gender. It doesn't really matter. Just someone who you think gets it. And go out with them, have a great time, have a catch up, find out what they're doing, maybe help them, because sometimes helping them with what they're going through, if they're feeling a bit crushed as well, can help you and make you feel like you did a good turn that day. It's all of a kind of it's helping each other's out and having each other's backs, because a lot of us are going through the same shit. So it's nice to just check in on people and see what it is that they're up to. Finally, let's think about a third one. So with a third one to kind of help with feelings of burnout, it would be I would say very much it's kind of, there's got to be kind of a method to the madness in how you schedule things. Very much. I would say first of all, right off the bat, if you don't have a schedule, I highly encourage that you do, especially if it's task-based things. If you don't want to put a schedule in for your social life, you don't have to do that. If you're kind of a go with the wind kind of person, that's okay. But for anything that's time sensitive, I highly recommend you start a schedule and start logging things in. And there are plenty of calendar apps out there, or your own calendar on your phone, where you can log things. But if you want things that are a bit more efficient or different, there's a lot of calendar apps out there, even if they've got ads on them now, which mine does, and I really hate that ever since it changed. But you fight through the ads either way. It's a very valuable app that I use constantly to block stuff in, and just seeing the blocks on my screen and ticking them off when I finish them, and then just seeing the day run dry and there's nothing else on it is a very satisfying feeling. And again, I have to carry blocks over when things stack up, but having that schedule helps a lot. And it allows your time to feel more structured, and it also makes you evaluate and value hours more. If you've got a 3 hours free once you have a schedule, you appreciate that 1 hour more than if you just sit and scroll on TikTok and 4 hours have gone. You really appreciate your hours more. So that's definitely the A side to this. If you already have a schedule like myself and are feeling completely crushed still, I would very much be realistic about your hours. I've said to myself in second year at uni that the biggest thing I've learnt this year, and what I'm trying to work on as a target before I finish this year for the summer, is time management and being realistic about my hours and what it is I'm actually capable of doing, rather than saying X, Y, and Z is getting done on Monday. I don't give a shit what it takes, it's getting done, because it doesn't work like that. You get to 11 o'clock at night, you're not finished, you want to give up, and before you know it, you end up staying later than your curfew, what I've said before. You wake up the next morning, you still have yesterday's stuff to do, you feel like shit, and you've got today's stuff to do as well. And that's how you end up in a situation where, like, 4 or 5 days later, you give up and you're done. And in my case, you basically end up taking, like, maybe Sunday and taking the entire Sunday off. I would say I consistently work on this network and every part of my life 7 days a week. I don't think I have an off switch with this kind of stuff. So hours are incredibly valuable, not just to value your time more and put those in if you don't have a schedule, but if you do and you're like myself and you're a massive overthinker and you plan an awful lot in your time, I recommend you, as well as value your hours, and look at them and think, look, I do have to sleep, I don't have unlimited hours in the day, and you have to prioritize what needs to be done. And if you have two priorities that are just as important as each other, I'm sorry, but there comes a point where you're just going to have to fucking pick. It's awful. It's not great. But there's going to come a point where you have to choose, because chugging along and completing what you do choose to complete, it's better to complete something than complete nothing at all because you've got no energy left in you. So that's definitely another thing that I would advise. And maybe around exam season, if any year level students are watching this, that's also very important to realise that prioritising what's more important in studies is also a very valuable skill to have. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'd say 3 things there to kind of help with burnout, if it's any assistance to anybody. Yeah, that will all just about do it for today. I'm quite proud of myself with that one because I think I had a pretty good list. But yep, that's it. If you like this content, this sort of words of encouragement, I've got a lot of other funny stuff and commentary-based stuff on this channel as well. Feel free to subscribe because we're daily here. We're posting daily every single day. And yeah, it's really fun. I'm finding it's very vibey on this channel. So yep, if you want to join along for the ride, feel free to subscribe, and also check out the Blue Web Network main channel if you want to see the kind of stuff that I'm doing over there with a podcast currently as well. But until next time, guys, be kind, do your best, and always remember, you are enough. See you later.